Hello. It's 5 o'clock here on a Tuesday, so it's time for Story Hour. This is a stream where uh, technically we're playing a game. It's called Vampire the Masquerade Shadows of New York. It's what's known as a text based game. It's very similar to Choose Your Own Adventure books. I read them all the time growing up, so I kind of enjoy this. This is going to be an audio only, basically, stream. If you do enjoy it, though, there is a playlist on the YouTube of the previous parts of the story, as well as a podcast, not a podcast, a playlist of the previous game, which was Coteries of New York. It was also done like this. It was a text-based game. Um, if you enjoy my content, there's also a live stream on Sundays at 1:05 p.m. We are currently playing Dragon Age Origins, but we are also looking to be dual streaming with a friend of mine, which will be a different game. You'll have to tune in on Sundays to enjoy that. We haven't started it yet, so it is kind of a surprise. Hey, Ivy, how you doing? Um, if you do enjoy this content, though, too, the Sunday stream is also added to the YouTube. Usually on Mondays. I'm a little late with the last episode of Dragon Age, but the other ones are up there. And we also have our OnlyFans. Right now, it is a game called No Place Like Home. It's recordings of what would be a stream, but OnlyFans doesn't let me stream yet, so it's completely recorded. There will be photos that are going to be added soon. About to get some dinner at the local community table. So hungry. Good. No, go get some food. I know you've been working hard and trying to do a whole lot of stuff. So go make sure you feed yourself. But yeah, we also have the OnlyFans, and there is new content coming to there. We have videos of the maid playing Fallout New Vegas, as well as a photo set that I am hoping to compose this weekend. So all of that is available. Last time we were doing the story hour, we were doing Shadows of New York. Our vampire is sired to, I believe it's one of the people in the higher ups. I can't think of what her position is, but she's basically the enforcer for the Prince of New York. I am of the clan La Sombra, which is one of the newer clans, newer playable clans, I should say. They are the clan of the Shadows, which is a very interesting clan to play. I am actually kind of maybe hoping to actually play them in the tabletop version of Vampire the Masquerade, but I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But my character has been charged with investigating the final death of the head of the Anarchs, who is known as Callahan. She's been doing some investigating and has found some things and gotten stymied by other folks. So it's been interesting. So let's get back to the game. I hope. Maybe. Here we go. So yeah, kiddo, you probably know the entire beeswax about Schrodinger's cat, so I'm not gonna bore you with that. But honestly, anything could have happened here. I read the text he has written on the empty page. This place is wired. It gives me chills. I think think I'm okay. I've tried to record my own voice a bunch of times on different hardware just to see if I can. It mostly comes out as a noise. He nods, then starts scribbling something else as he continues blabbering on and on. The best strategy would be to make an educated guess about what happened here, then interrogate everyone about it. Maybe you'll take someone by surprise, drop a hook on them. The wiretap is a chip in the broken glass bottle on the floor, absolutely sure it belongs to Kaiser. Kaiser, the elusive information broker, the talk of the city, finally got an excuse to nab him. I understand. I think I have an idea how to use it to find him. Should I notify Kadir? Scribble, scribble. Takes longer than before. So yeah, I'll be meeting up with Kadir. You stay here, sister. Maybe there's something you've been missing. Your call, doll. You're going beyond this jurisdiction, so he will try to stop you. Whatever you do, just give me a 10-minute heads up. You know, so I can get to relative safety. For sure. It's back to the sheriff's custody for me. See you around, Julia. Sorry this old codger couldn't have been more help. If I don't contact him in 2 hours, let Kadir know what happened. I'll be going. I've got a plan. Now all I need to execute it is a clueless bystander. This guy will do. Do you, need me for anything else? Not really. Better take a hike before the guy you've just called shows up. I can't guarantee he won't make you hurt. Will do. He puts his head down and obediently trots away down the street. I might have messed with his head a little too much, asking my wild kindred using my wily kindred charms, but I needed him to tell Kaiser where I want to meet, quite clearly, multiple times. I would have given him the kiss as thanks at least, but I told the big man I wouldn't be here all night and that he'd better hurry up. So I want to be ready when he comes. Less than 15 minutes later, a menacing black limo takes a fast, sharp turn onto my street and stops right in front of me. Suddenly, something like an acid flashback hits me. I know this limo. I've seen it all around over the past few days, but never thought that it might be tailing me. Still, it must have. Looks like I'm finally about to get some answers. Doors open, and a raspy voice comes from inside. Get the fuck in, Swaninsky! I smile and accept the invitation. There he is, Kaiser, the king of New York City's information highways, surrounded by screens, speakers, and newfangled technological gizmos of all kinds. First impression, he's one repulsive son of a bitch. D'Angelo was a sewer rat, and he might have been similar physical disadvantages, but at least he was wholly endearing. With this guy, there's no room for any kind of sentiment. He's inhumanely cold, and I get the feeling he's been like this for ages. You're getting on my nerves, little lady, and I'm far from being the only one. I get the sense he meant for all this to be threatening. Instead, I'm elated. After a week of running around like a headless chicken, unsure if I was getting anywhere, finally, I get a compliment. If there's one thing I learned back in Lodestar, it was that you only know you're doing your job correctly when someone powerful gets visibly mad. Don't piss me off, old man. If you want to escalate, I can escalate. And there's a lot of expensive shit here you probably wouldn't want me to break. Ah, yes, I did hear you and Tech doesn't get along. Is that why you left that mess down in the double spiral basement? He scoffs at me with pure contempt. Listen, I will speak as plainly as humanly possible to get through your little head, since it's obviously you're not willing to read the obvious signals. You were hired for one thing, and one thing only, little lady, to suck at your job, and you couldn't even do that correctly. People keep stopping by my limo this week telling me, Kaiser, dear Kaiser, we keep trying to make her understand how hopeless she is, but she just won't get a clue. She doesn't have any evidence, she doesn't have any testimony, but she still goes around knocking on everyone's door, causing disturbances. It's such a fucking headache. Usually I try to be a jovial host, so I cheer them up. She's not that much of a dunce, I say. She's making mountains out of molehills to make herself seem useful, I say. She's about to stop. But you and your infinite idiocy decide to prove me wrong in the most spectacular fashion by knocking on my very own door, forcing my hand, threatening me even. Are you autistic or something, huh? Can't read basic fucking social clues? Stop for 1 second and ask yourself, Kubono? Who's even fucking wants you to solve anything, let alone this case? See, this city is a delicate system set in place. Usually it's flawless. But ever since you started tinkering with it, it's been having these irritating malfunctions and it's driving people... Are you done? A weird, disgusting sound, something between a gargle and a bark, escapes his throat. Unbelievable. All I'm hearing is that you're in possession of some information that might help me solve the puzzle I was presented with. If that's the case, I'm going to ask you to share it. I swear, you're absolutely irredeemable, you fucking garbage dump of a woman. How do I get through all the rubbish in your head to drive my point in? Don't you know who I am? Oh, I know who you are. You're the person who had Callahan's place wired, which makes you a possible witness of sorts, or even a suspect. Psh, for Christ's sake, woman, get real! Even if your accusations were correct, then who, pray tell, who would you report them to? Do you even know what kind of people I answer to? No. Care to acquaint us? Is that really what you want? You want to know who pulls the strings? Give me 10 minutes and I can arrange a meeting. But this is your last chance to turn back. If you don't, I can tell you now you're going to be sorry. The big kahuna? Finally. Now you're talking. Yes, the big kahuna. So this is your final answer, huh? Absolutely. Unbelievable. He takes out his phone and begins furiously typing. I relax in the seat. Finally, we're getting somewhere. It might be dangerous, yeah, but at least I'll finally get a clue of what's going on. I'm just saying, this is the point of no return. My boss doesn't fuck around. Best case, you're gonna beg him to take you in. Whatever. He keeps grumbling under his breath, but I'm not even listening. I just watch the streets go by. Until, out of the blue, I experience a strong sense of foreboding. I first spot her in the corner of my eye. She's hovering right next to Kaiser with an expression that's impossible to discern. When she speaks, her voice is machine-like, yet otherworldly. Fine, we're 5 minutes away or so. Get the boys ready to give the Mel Gibson special. The moment he puts away his phone, the silhouette disappears. We're 5 minutes away. Better start figuring out the ways you might prove yourself useful to the honcho. There is no honcho. Oh my god, of course. This motherfucker is setting me up. I need to get out of here. Now. I do the first thing that comes to mind. I grab the door handle and pull. He notices me scrambling and struggles to grab me. Hold up, you stupid fucking cunt! Glass breaking, loud thuds of something hitting heavy asphalt, tires screeching. I think he grabbed me. I think he tried to pull me back in. I think we fell out of the limo. I think his body cushioned my fall. But I'm struggling to process what's going on. It's like I'm blanking out. When I come to, he's already attempting to get up, cursing under his breath. The limo has stopped a little further in, but whoever the driver is, he's not coming out. Fucking! When he stands up, he will be out for vengeance. He's an older vampire who knows how strong he is. I need something that will give me the advantage. The pepper spray, of course. It probably won't be as effective as it would be on a living person, but it's still worth a try. I limp toward the asshole, disarm the device, aim towards his eyes, and unload the entire canister. Ah! It worked. It actually worked. I keep up the offensive. I punch him, kick him, throw him around. I pummel him. I smash his head against a curb. I struggle to harm him in whatever way I can, like a frightened animal. I don't know how long it lasts. Might be 1 minute, might be an eternity. The driver steps out of the limo to help his boss, but once he sees what I'm doing to him, he runs away in panic. Feels good. Feels absolutely horrible. Once I'm done, I sit on the curb and scream my lungs out to avoid crying. Then I look at him. He seems shocked, barely hanging on. I know what I've done was extremely stupid. I did hear how he's one of the most influential figures in the city. That's probably why he never expected to get his ass whooped, especially by someone like me. When he speaks again, his voice is pathetic, surprisingly close to a whimper.
You'll pay for this. You'll fucking pay, you lost, mislaid, abandoned property of a woman.
He's unwell, talking nonsense. I approach him again. You wanted to have me whacked. What? Do you think I'm stupid?
You needed to be taught a lesson.
Well, would you look at who ended up teaching who? Now talk. Tell me everything you know about Callahan's final death. All of it.
Go to hell. You can fuck me up however bad you want. I'm still not gonna tell you shit. You try anything, there will be consequences. There will be retribution. My mouth is shut.
He might be my last chance to solve the case. But if I don't force him to talk, he won't. There's a burgeoning thought in my mind, but it scares even me. Do I dare to push him to the edge? Make him suffer until he squeaks? Well, I'm sure you'll open your mouth if I do this. I put his shin against the curb.
Wait, what?
And kick with all my strength.
Ah!
It's a compound fracture. I barely manage to suppress my gag reflex. It feels like I'm dissociating.
You fucking psychopath! You fucking psychotic bitch!
He's actually weeping, like a child. It totally shatters the tough image he was trying to project earlier. Like this is the first time anyone has ever used physical violence against him. What if it is? You either start talking or the other leg goes, then the hands, then I will get creative. I try to collect myself and put his other leg against the curb.
I'll talk! I'll fucking talk!
The kick connects. It's a light one, a sadistic feint. It still manages to get a pathetic whimper out of him. Then talk, but this had better be good. He looks at me with pure fury, then begins to speak through clenched teeth.
You want to know who was in Callahan's office before he died, little lady? Everyone, fucking everyone and their mother was there. Vanderwide, Aisling, Arturo, Panhard, that Keimer douche motherfucker Torque with his sidekick, all of them. Callahan thought this was the only way out, to pit them all against each other and to ally with every single one of them. Little did he know, it was in all their best interest for him to just fucking die.
That's good. That's great. But who killed him?
I've no fucking idea.
That won't do. Once again, I put his leg in a potentially disastrous position. In response, he starts howling maniacally.
You fucking sadist! You fucking monster woman, I really have no idea!
Who kept complaining to you about me? Who's responsible for getting rid of the evidence?
Everyone did! Goddamn Callahan undurdened everyone and antagonized everyone, so it took everyone to fucking bring him down. All evidence is gone, every theory is equally true, so none of it is. Don't you see, you fucking cunt? Everyone is complicit, so nobody is... Why the fuck do you think Sophie Langley is no longer around? Why is Torque no longer pretending to be a revolutionary? Why are free agents involved? Why are they shutting you up tomorrow?
Shutting me up? Who?
Can't you connect the dots, you dumb whore? What are you, a fucking retard?
Somebody's about to get... Julia. I look back over my shoulder and see Kadir.
Bloody hell, what is wrong with you?
Kadir.
You're out of control. This is why I didn't want you to get involved. I had a hunch. A hunch that the moment you get a whiff of true power, all brakes will be off.
Bullshit.
You're out of your goddamn mind. I should have you in a potential masquerade breach.
Just let me explain myself. This ugly fucker tried to have me beaten, maybe even killed. Don't you care about that?
I have no idea, Sheriff. No idea. She's dangerous. Psychotic.
Shut the fuck up. I can't control myself. I kick him where I know it will hurt him the most.
Ah, my fucking leg! Stop this right now, you goddamn idiot!
I freeze in place. I've never heard him use that tone with me.
I will take care of you in a moment in my car, Kaiser. Hold on.
I'm not done questioning him yet. It looks like there's a major conspiracy to...
I'm going to have to ask you to leave, and you're going to be glad I'm going to ask you to leave, and you're going to be glad I leave it at that.
If you do that, I'm going to have to assume you're complicit.
That's worth 2 strikes in my book. You don't want to risk a third.
So that's it? Tell me, what was all my footwork even for?
We'll be seeing each other, little lady.
Can you hear this?
Go home, Julia.
But...
Go home.
Fine, I will. But before I do, I take a quick peek into Kaiser's limo, still abandoned a little further down the street. I skipped the church visit again tonight. I want more time to finish this report. Who knows? It might be my final one. I want to spend more time with Dakota. Yeah, just forget about the rest of the world. A lot happened tonight, but I can still manage to be at our apartment an hour earlier than usual. She should be glad. I sneak into the apartment as silently as possible, trying to surprise her. When I reach the bedroom, I see something unexpected. It hits me like a ton of bricks. At the beginning, I can't properly parse the sight, but when I finally understand what I'm looking at, it causes a wave of terror and disgust to swell up inside my chest. Shh! What in the fuck? She's shocked to see me. Doesn't know what to do. She's like a deer in headlights or a schoolgirl poorly trying to hide her misdeeds from a teacher. You're early. Yes, I am. These are my clothes, Dakota. These are my cigarettes. That's my jewelry on the table. Yeah, I was, And I'm pretty sure, God Almighty, I thought I was just being neurotic whenever I noticed something dreadfully familiar in you. I can explain. Please do explain. A A good 10 seconds of awkward silence pass. I can see her spending an eternity in her head. This isn't what it looks like. Oh my god, it is exactly what it looks like. I will just come out and say it. Dakota, are you single white femaling me? It all makes sense now. No, come on, no! I thought I was the leech in this relationship. We watched the movie together. We made fun of Jennifer Jason Leigh together. A roommate stalking and imitating her own roommate. Ha ha ha, what a concept, right? But I was being fed on in a far more sinister way, without knowing it. Don't be silly. Silly? I've never even been this serious with you. So whenever she put on my makeup, whenever I used her as a mirror, she was always hyping me up because she wanted to live vicariously through me. So many little things make sense in retrospect. The little ways you kept modulating your speech after me, the weird ways our tastes were always compatible, some of your art feeling so familiar. None of it would trigger any alarms by itself, and yet she's as humanely embarrassed as possible. Julia, just listen. Don't fucking touch me. I can barely think of anything more repulsive than being put on a pedestal like this. It's like the other person is begging me to perceive them as someone worse, if not outright subhuman. Don't be like this, just don't. You know, this would probably be infinitely more palatable if you talked to me like a person here, and not like, I don't know, your fucking mommy. You know what? Fuck you! I've been locked in this apartment by myself because of all the pandemic shit going on. It's fucking me up. I know you have it hard right now, so I didn't want to bother you. Yeah, I was counting on you to ask about how I'm feeling. Babe, how is your life? Life imbalance? Babe, how is your work-life balance? Aren't you feeling claustrophobic? Hey, it's just me, or is our drug supply weirdly shrinking too fast? But no, you were too much of a self-centered bitch. You regularly suck me dry, and it's okay, but at the moment I entertain the thought of taking something in return, I'm crossing a line? Oh no, I'm a member of an immortal elite secret society, so it's hard to cope. Dakota, whenever I gracefully decided to visit our apartment, let's just do what I enjoy until the pain stops. Fuck you! Fuck you, sincerely. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. There's nothing you can do but take, and you should have learned by now that that's just taking won't make you happy, you big dumb bitch. Stop. I'm destined for better things than this. Get the fuck out of here. You disgust me. Dakota breaks down crying. She grabs a jacket and a purse and runs out of the apartment. I don't try to stop her. I stand there for a short while in silence and then lock the door. Did she take her keys? I don't know. I don't know if I care. I desire for someone else, not for myself, for a way to open a different world, not get locked back in mine. I collapse onto the soft bed. I smell her perfume. I always liked it, but now it makes me slightly nauseous. I try not to think of Dakota. I think of Kaiser. I think of Kadir. I think of Callahan. No matter what I think of, I sense doom. I feel that I've just sealed my fate, whatever it may be. Everything fucking sucks. Back into the void. Back into the void. Back into the void. For me, it always starts with an image. An image which might be vaguely eerie or interesting, but usually not an image that would provoke particularly strong feelings by itself. Usually it hides a mystery. That much is correct. But that mystery doesn't exist without a text, or more specifically, a context. Context is everything. One way or another, you need to process what you're looking at. Maybe that context will be something you've heard or overheard. Maybe, although it's quite rare and special, it will be your very own creative, captivating, complete interpretation, a ghost of an idea. Is this a half-forgotten memory of something unspeakably beautiful I will never, ever see again? Just a scene from a movie? A fragment of a music video? An animation? Or maybe this really is the last thing Callahan ever saw in his unlife? Warm sunbeams caressing his skin and turning it to ash, a giant ball of fire engulfing his body in flame from a 93 million miles away. Was he terrified? Was he grateful? There's no will, no suicide note, no nothing. Instead, we can only count on what the local historians will write, presumably letting their biases shape the narrative one way or another. What am I looking at here? A horrible, laughable hall of mirrors? A creep whom I never ever want to see again? A vampire, much more despicable than myself? Or maybe someone who loved taking care of me and deserved to be cared for in return? Funny thing, whenever I was high as a kite, mentally lost in dimensions parallel to ours, she was my anchor. Our shared history, my feelings for her, were an anchor. Matthew McConaughey returning to his estranged daughter from the other side of the cosmos, from beyond the event horizon, guided by nothing but love. Then, whenever I got back to planet Earth for a week or two, I was haunted by a memory of that affection. I was the best possible version of myself towards her. But that haunting always refused to transfigure into something real. What gradually took its place were angry, disappointed thoughts, and among them, one thought that I was always trying to suppress. I need someone who'd known how to raise me up spiritually, but all I have is a sycophant who's always working her ass off to lift me up without understanding what I need. It's hurting us both. Having these words pop up in my head hurt me because they had a ring of truth to them, but also because I knew there must be another narrative, a better narrative. I was just too stupid to find it. Story of my life. Story of my unlife. I still have no idea what I think about this city. I had my the best city in the world phase. I had a playground for wealthy fucktards phase. Now, I'm in search of a better description. One day, probably, I will stumble upon like a piece of writing or a prestigious TV show scene that will contain just that. And suddenly, I will look at this place with new eyes. Or maybe I won't. It's like the frustrations I had back at Lodestar. All these words constantly trailing behind reality, trapping you in useless mindsets instead of bringing enlightenment. Fuck all those flashy writers whose main concern is furthering their own brand. Douchebags who present you with limited, pathetic, depressing realities where they are kings. Fuck them all to hell. We need words that will paint a brighter future before our eyes. But what if that can't be done without reinterpreting the past first? What if we haven't even defined the ills and threats correctly? Once again, my thoughts return to the same visual that has been tormenting me for almost every waking moment of this past week. A senseless demise devoid of any context. A crime scene stripped of evidence, an image created by an unknown artist, designed to leave you dumbfounded. The investigation is over. All the possible avenues explored. All the non-testimonies are in. No concrete evidence found. The play is almost complete. The actors ready to leave the stage. It is what it is. I failed as a detective, maybe through no fault of my own, but again, it is what it is. This case, this scene, this picture never needed an investigator. From what I understand, all the people in charge ever wanted was a talented writer. What if a ghost of an idea? When I wake up, Dakota is still not here. I don't know how to feel about that, so I just don't. Kadir hasn't left any messages by the door. Still that mad, huh? He will probably appeal to the court to take me off the case, and if half of the garbage Kaiser was spouting is correct, he shouldn't have much trouble convincing everyone. I look in the mirror and stare at my warped down reflection. This place is upsetting. You need a change of scenery, girl. The depressing streets of a locked down New York City will do. I think of God. Maybe that's why I half-consciously picked the cathedral as my destination. I think of the silver cross adorning my chest, an empty signifier. Whenever someone asks me why I wear it, they hear a different story. I think of these silhouettes that I keep spotting from the corner of my eye. No, I don't even want to imagine what that means. I feel what it means. I feel what it means, and it makes me nauseous enough. I think of my clan so closely tied to the Catholic Church. It's a loveless marriage, so to speak, like, for example, the one between my parents. I think about the great irony of the somberest truth with the Holy See. We're the only ones who stay so close to the Lord's light, even though we're certain we will never, ever reach it. Some of us shadows have visions of comrades who departed this world recently, traveling through some abstract space, one that's disturbing and astonishing in equal measures. They almost reach whatever afterlife there is of our kind, but then they get caught and consumed by a dark, monstrous silhouette. The rumor is our antediluvian was stopped by his final death. He's still out there, behind the shadows, taking revenge for our patricide, feeding on us like Saturn devouring his children. As Dakota would say, it might not be factual, but it is an emotional truth. From joining the Camarilla to panically scrambling for any safe house, it's like our elders are solely motivated by fear. The sins of our fathers are catching up with them, and it's young kindred like me who are given responsibility to clean up their mess with the constant sense of doom looming over the horizon. We don't talk about salvation anymore. We're just minimizing the impact of our damnation. That's no way to live. But then again, maybe that's why they call it. That's no way to live. That's no way to live. But then again, maybe that's why they call it unlife. Shit, it's Benoit.
Hello there, lost sheep. I'll have you know this shepherd was extraordinarily patient in waiting for you. What are you doing here while the night is so young? Out for blood? Well, you're in luck. The place offers both the body and the blood.
If missionaries learned their methods from pickup artists, they would all be like this guy. I'm not in the mood, you sorry-ass bum. Step the fuck away from me or you're gonna be sorry.
Oh my, something troubling you? If so, I can arrange a confession. Or if you're in a hurry, keep in mind the path from inner turmoil begins from with a friendly ear, and I've got one right here.
Kawajabana Tajur, you want me to fuck you up? Don't you? Don't you? Julia, you should know by now I'll always interpret this kind of response to preaching the divine as the devil stirring inside you. Is it what it is, Julia? The liar and the father of lies got a hold on your soul. If so, give me a signal, even the smallest one. I'll do my best to spot it. Something swells up inside my chest. I recognize the feeling. The handbrake just broke, and I'm definitely not on level ground. Fuck. Here we go. Listen, I've had enough, alright? Enough. Enough of your sanctimonious attitude, enough of your brazen lack of basic empathy, enough of your dumb, ugly fucking mug. You're a fucking singularity of stupid, tasteless, and cringe. No, that's not right. You're a fucking singularity of stupidity, tastelessness, and cringe. I've met all sorts of horrible shitheads and asshats this week, and somehow none of them got under my skin the way you do, you motherfucker. Like a goddamn Jehovah's Witness going from door to door, except you're always knocking on my fucking stall going, hey, do you know God exists? Have you heard that God exists? Like, hold it right there. When did I ever say that God exists? What? So what makes you think I believe God exists? Oh, now you're just fucking with me. No, I'm serious. Well, he sounds serious at least. I'm actually speechless. I think there's been some sort of silly misunderstanding that desperately needs to be cleaned up. I'm all ears. I sure hope so, Julia. I feel like you must have ignored half of what I've been saying to you to reach these conclusions. That's very well possible, actually. It usually takes 15 seconds of him talking to me to get me completely zoned out. So to avoid any further mix-up, I'll go back to the beginning and explain the core of my religious beliefs, okay? So, I love the Catholic imagery. I cherish the traditions and lore. I adore the practices, the intricacies of the theology, the messages contained in the Bible. Of course I do. Does that mean I believe that one day I'll see the big dad in the sky? Forgive me, Lord, but I don't think so. Doesn't sound very likely, especially for a bloodthirsty creature of the night. So, that's what this is about? Fun imagery? That's overly simplified, but yes, I suppose you could say that. Motherfucker, you ain't Catholic, you're just a weirdo cosplayer. Says a non-practitioner who still wears the cross. Yeah, but I don't shove it down people's throats for fun in my spare time. I'm simply trying to share the joys that religion has brought to my own life with others. What joys? Oh, where to start? When there are so many. The joy of having plainly understandable rules to follow. The joy of having a structure to your life. The joy of always knowing where to find people who share your values. Above all, it's the joys of being an aristocracy, surrounding oneself with exquisite, luxurious architecture, beautiful classical music, ornate rituals formalizing our actions and relationships. A pursuit of virtue separating you from the masses. The hierarchies, the communities, all serving an idea greater than themselves. It's like monarchy or some Camarilla traditions, but not as gauche. So that's what it was? You saw pretty paintings and buildings and thought, hell yeah, I want in. And then you just decided what they mean to you? Oh, don't get me wrong. It's a real fate that brought me to the fold. But eventually I whittled down this religion to its core. What interests me. Unbelievable. You don't think for a second I wasn't empathetic when I was trying to convert you? You are the embodiment of existential despair surrounding us. The one that people usually try to drown out with drugs, sex, work, Netflix, pick your poison, all of them temporary copes. Empty yourself, kill your ego, get a routine, join a community, ground your morality in something tangible. Start perceiving yourself as a part of something greater. All of the good advice by itself, but codified in an appealing otherworldly aesthetic. One that keeps the beast at bay. One that keeps the beast at bay. When you're almost fitting into the way you are. What's there to hate? Unbelievable. You're a goddamn lunatic. He looks at the sky. Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. Stop that. Your entire ideology is just aesthetics, you fucking loon. And how exactly do I differ from anyone else nowadays in this regard? Stop arguing semantics. No, you stop. Just look at yourself. A privileged burnout that refuses to invest herself in anything. Only started committing to anything when for once in your own life you are forced into a politically charged dangerous task. Once it's over, you'll be back to being an aimless brat. desire to murder increases. Ever since World War II, I've been watching every person and every ideal I cared about wither and disappear. That's the source of my pain. That's the reason I am what I am. The source of your pain? That thing that defines you? People have been mean to you. Fuck off. People in third world countries keep their heads high while suffering from every sort of horror, but you have a complete mental breakdown every time you remember you have mommy issues. Wow, classy. Oh, don't act like you have the higher ground here, you obvious sadist. All I'm saying is everyone has a different framework, a different lens to view their surroundings through. Yes, and if there's one thing abandoning your humanity should have shown you, it's that kind frameworks are not enough. Petty vendettas, childish romances, pointless power struggles, the dumb gamble that's chasing a successful career, mommy and daddy issues. Sure, why not? Pain and pleasure dictate everything. Everyone wants something bigger than this. They want to escape from the drudgery. They want psychedelia, but permanent. They want to stare at God's face, even if He does not exist. And you can show them how. Accept the cross you're wearing in your heart, Julia. Accept it. Creepy fucker. Just accept it. Alright, that will be enough, Benoit. The mood changes in an instant. The sight of Father Leonard takes us both aback. Father, what are you doing here so early? You two are arguing so loudly, I had to come out and check. Even if, with all the panic on TV these days, simply walking outside feels like marching into a war zone. Yeah, I'm sorry. You should be. I was willing to turn a blind eye to your quirks, because I believe you have your heart in the right place mostly. But I'm very disappointed in the way you approach folks in need. Right now, Benoit Segal is displaying all the confidence of a scolded teacher's favorite. But I was just trying to guide her, to set her on the right path. I know, Benoit, I know. That's the problem. The sacristy is open. Please head there right now. We need to have a long talk. Get some coffee if you wish. But, Benoit. He slowly slinks away, looking defeated, deflated, debased. I burn the moment into my retinas, etch it on my soul, kind of hoping I'll never have to see him again, and this is how I'll remember him. Father Leonard watches him closely until he disappears from sight, then turns to me. I feel sorry for him. I keep hoping he might find some basic empathy through faith, but all I've done this far is let him leave you the end of your tether. Yeah, that's some faith he has. Are you okay with all the bullshit he's spouting? I don't exactly support it, but I don't reject it. It's like attrition and contrition. Imperfect and perfect. Repentance, you know? One is focused on a relationship with God, the other selfish and focused on personal gain. But both of them work. Yeah, but doesn't that strike you as completely missing the point? A bit, but purely secular takes on Christ's teachings are nothing new. Pascal's Wager is a boring example, but have you by chance read Bulgakov's The Master and the Margarita? Sure, back in Poland every teen trying to look intellectual online loved to repeat that joke about the talking cat who swears he'd never pour vodka for a lady because women deserve pure alcohol. That's one takeaway from that novel, I suppose. I read it as a moving depiction of Christ, who's not a divine being, stripped of mythic qualities, but open for transcendence. Jesus and Satan understood as powerful forces battling within us. Would have to read it again. It's been too long. Sounds nice, though. I stretch lazily and take out another smoke. Leonard watches me closely before speaking up again. Julia? 4 hours from now, there's going to be a meeting in the Elysium. The big finale of Celebrations of Power. Everyone will be there, but they're counting on you to not show up. The good sheriff plans to present the results of the investigation in your stead. It's a simple, crude strategy. Might work, but begs to be countered in an outrageous tactic. Take it as you will. The game is about to end. Momentarily, I'm left dumbfounded. All I can muster is an eloquent, eh? Oh, don't ask me. I'm just the messenger. Who relayed this message to you then? A good friend. A cautious friend wouldn't be able to tell you more than that, even if you forced me to. Well, shit. This is the moment that might decide the rest of my days. What would you do in my place, Father? When I was faced with a dilemma that would shape the rest of my life, the world felt too big and scary and impossible to understand. So I simply escaped from that choice into the seminary. Yeah, if that's your idea of good advice, I'm gonna have to ask you to shove it. I would expect nothing less. Don't you regret it? Regret what? You're kind of shady, but don't seem like a bad guy. Still, you have to accept the people above you are responsible for some horrible things. If our superiors' acts count as our own sins, then on the face of it, probably half the people in the world are irredeemable. Clever, but not a real answer. And being a low-level grunt for assholes you find wholly objectionable is no way to live. I don't know. Is it? I finish the smoke in silence. I have to go. Don't know if and when we'll see each other again, but when that happens, I probably won't be the same old me. Of course. But before I leave to scold Benoit, let me say one more thing. Yeah? These are difficult times. My parishioners keep calling me. The things people are going through, they might never admit, but if this keeps up, it will cause horrifying invisible damage to this nation. A dreadful darkness is killing us all, little by little, and like every powerful evil, it manifests itself little by little. And yet, sinful as it may be, I confess to being strangely excited. For a moment, we're seeing this suffocating normal disappear. This is the time to dream a new world is possible. Walk these empty streets, Julia. Remember how the city feels right now. Bask in its shadows and uncertainties. After the apocalypse comes the great rebirth. And the Amici Noctis await your next report with great curiosity. I give him a nod and I sprint away. Now I know what I must do. Hey, Moon, my lone constant companion. When I moved here for good from, the old country, you were the only close friend who kept me company. Never felt in the right place back there. Never felt in the right place here. Especially now, when I'm not quite alive, not quite dead, not that Slavic, not that American. But maybe it's about time I finally carve out some space for myself. It's been a long road, hasn't it? Wish me luck. And that, folks, is where we're going to actually leave the story for tonight. I have a strong suspicion this might be the end game for the story hour. We do have several other text-based games to do in the future. And so once we do get through the end game, we will move on to them. But I want to thank you all for joining me today. And I will see you next week.